I'm sorry. I've like had to restart this thing because like the 4th live.
My God, bro. Oh, hell no.
I came in here and being like, I don't know what the hell is going on. You're probably wondering, who the hell are you? Like, who the heck is this? Like, you have a lot of questions, right? I would too. Here's the full model. I made this character. Her name is Alice. Here's her glory. Here's everything. And it took me like a couple months to finally make her fully, but I decided that I wanted to do this because freaking my friend came over one time and she's like, oh, you would be like a great VTuber, but like not the cringy ones. And I'm like, you know what? Might as well. I'm gonna be answering some questions, just expressing the general idea of like what the heck is going on. Boop. Okay. Welcome to everybody who decides to see this. Let me do that. Yes. So, you can call me Z, like the letter Z, to refer to me as like the person streaming. And like I mentioned a little bit earlier, Alice is the person, is the OC and the model that I'm piloting right now. Here's just the bullet points of like what I'm gonna be talking about. Who's Alice? You know, who's this character? You know, what's her lore? And then I'm also gonna be explaining like, you know, why I'm streaming, why I'm doing this. So I'm gonna be first talking about, I guess, myself. I'm 18. I live in the US. What the fuck is a kilometer? And I go by she, her, and I absolutely love to do art. I love video games. I've been recently getting more into editing too and stuff. Yeah, I want to do everything I can to help all my loved ones. I think that is like one of like my main priorities in life. But yeah, and also fuck generative AI. We do not be needing that shit at all. I really do hope to support as many artists as I can in my life with like the little extra income that I do get and stuff. So I love art. I love supporting artists. I love so many artists. There's so many beautiful things you can do with art. And then the next slide is gonna be introducing Alice. I will like to note that like my OC's lore might change over time, but this is like the idea that I have like, in my head of some of my OCs right now. So she's 19 canonically as of right now, and she was raised on the coast of Spain. She has like really rich like Spanish parents that run like a ham company.
Nice.
Super like big over there. This is the first character that I made in this like newer AU that I decided to do, and I showed a couple people, you know, like her design, and they were like, oh, is this like Japanese fashion? Like I've gotten Jodaike, I've gotten Lolita, I've heard a bunch of like just she wearing something J fashion inspired. So I'm like, we're gonna keep the theme of like the OCs of them wearing J fashion sort of clothes, because I personally really love those clothes too. And she is an adventurer. She loves to write. She freaking is so good at writing. She really has like a creative sort of mind where she likes to wander around, but sometimes it's just like too much. She kind of gets lost a little bit in her own mind. That is a very running theme for her. She loves to read and stuff. She loves to like, you know, wander like physically, but also she loves to like being engrossed in like different worlds. And yeah, and she grew up Catholic with Catholicism. Yeah, she's heavily traumatized. She was forced into a child marriage at 16 to a 35-year-old.
Brother,
That gets brought up because of her freaking parents, bro. Like, oh my gosh, that's a whole thing. But right after she gets forced to child marriage, she goes into like the idol modeling industry. She didn't want to do that, but you know, her parents, her husband, everybody, quote unquote husband, kind of forced her into doing that sort of, to be in that industry. And she's very close with Charlotte and Emilio, which are two other OCs that I'm going to be talking about. And so we have Charlotte over here. Yes, she's 20 and she's ethnically French, but her and her parents live in Spain. All the characters, like this takes place in Spain. These two have rich parents, but for her, her parents run, yes, they run Le Orio. And they're very known for their black and white hair, which she has. I thought that was so funny because I'm like, what's like a rip-off like name that I could use for her? I guess like her family industry name. And I'm like, wait, It's because I love Oreos. I imagine her, like, her room being filled with just freaking so many plushies. She has like a whole pile dedicated to just different plushies and stuff. I could also imagine her being into like really into Pokemon Go too. Like, she definitely does that shit too. She definitely loves drawing. She specifically loves drawing like horror and then just like anime girls like on the side. She like made herself a name in like the idol and like modeling industry in this AU and stuff. Like, she had parents that her parents did kind of push her to do that, but she was able to, you know, be like self-sustaining at 15 at that point. Really, and she's incredibly smart too. All of my OCs are just like, damn, they got it, bro. She has four siblings canonically, and she's the oldest out of all four of her siblings. And even though she's like been extremely busy, you know, trying to make a career out of herself, she tries to make as much free time to be with them as possible, because her parents, they're just not as present in their kids' lives. You know, they're busy doing their own thing. You know, she's being the older sibling. She wants to try and be there for her little siblings as like more of a parental figure too, right? And she met Alice when she was 16, because Alice entered the idol industry when she was around 16, right after she got married, quote unquote. Obviously, she did not want that. She was so heartbroken when her parents were like, oh yeah, you're gonna marry this 35-year-old guy because he's attached to like the restaurant industry in Spain, so you're just gonna marry it so that we can combine our businesses so that, you know, we get more money. Not expecting that and stuff. Charlotte kind of, she liked doing it, but she would probably want to do something in like the creative field, like art related or music related, something like that. She's, you know, she's good at what she does. And so she met Alice when Alice kind of first started getting into the industry. And then later, Charlotte met both Alice and Emilio, which I'm gonna talk about right now. Next we have Emilio. And I will mostly refer to him as he, but he's kind of like, he also prefers using they. It doesn't really matter to him. He's 19. He actually has two dads. He's got a Filipino dad who's like a teacher who like kind of immigrated to Spain, and he's got a Spanish father, is a lawyer. He at first grew up pretty poor because his dads were just not, you know, like they're not as financial. I think a lot of parents do, they're just not as financially stable when they first have kids too anyway. So he kind of grew up poor, but you know, very loving family. They love to do a lot of makeup, photography. They just love doing that shit. He's like extremely smart. I would imagine that he's like very into physics, and he just I don't know why, but he just really likes to eat apples. Do not question me why he likes to eat apples. He just does. It just makes sense in my head, bro. Don't try. And really loves alternative rock, because I needed to have a character that loves alternative rock. So he met Alice when they were in 7th grade, which was approximately around like when they're around 12. They met in like middle school because he transferred to like a private school because his parents are doing more financially, like well financially. And they stayed in high school. They stayed in the same school until they were both 16, where they were able to both graduate like 2 years early. And then Alice freaking got married and she kind of did. So he was like, yo, yeah, I'm gonna need to do that modeling and like idol shit with Alice. He was able to like make his way up because he didn't have like connections. Alice and Charlotte had so many more connections, so it took him a little while, but freaking he did it, bro. So he was able to like make a name for himself. He ended up reuniting with Alice at around 17, and that's where he also met Charlotte too, and that's when Charlotte also met him. Freaking, oh my god. They did not like each other at first, but they actually ended up like, you know, understanding each other and just growing more closer. Okay, if I had a book and you looked at the back of the book and I would give you a summary of like the plot of this AU that I made in my head, this is what it would be. Born in Spain, forced by her parents into a child marriage, Alice, not by choice, joined the idol industry where she met Charlotte, a long-running idol, and Emilio, her old friend. And everything being too much for Alice, she decided to make a decision that would, you know, and her life, only for her and her friends to accidentally be clipped into what is called the complex. Basically, Alice and her friends, you know, try to explore this place. I guess this place. It's very liminal. It's inspired by the backrooms, I'm just gonna say, because I know another word for the backrooms is called the complex, and it's just filled with just uncanny domains and just weird creatures. So many different things in there that just do not make sense, but things that later on will reveal a lot about, you know, who all of them are. It just is gonna reveal a bunch about them. And so, you know, what the heck are they gonna find in there? And can they like return home? Do they want to return home? What is gonna change when they do return home? There's so many questions because, you know, so many things as to why. It's because the main character here is Alice. I made a VTuber of Alice. She's the main character in this AU. She has so much shit at that point because she's currently 19 and she was forced into this child marriage. She's been in this child marriage for like 3 years. She's like so done with everything. And if like it comes into question, she's accidentally gets clipped into this place with her and her friends. Does she even want to leave this place? So I try to make those questions and like answer that. It's actually recently that I started to make OCs. I think it's been like 2 years or something like that. It's been a very short amount of time, but I love giving my characters trauma because all of them have trauma. Every single one of them. But yeah, it's just fun for me to make all these characters too. But here's the inspo for the AE. I kind of explained a little bit, but it's just a silly idea, just a silly little thing that I actually thought of. I love the backrooms concept and I want to explore more of it in, you know, my own way, in my, like with my own characters in my head. Because you can do so much with that concept too. So I've wanted to explore that concept, and so this is an excuse to do it. And it's also, I loved the Miku looping room song. If you know what I'm talking about, it triggered this whole thing. I remember listening to that and it just like triggered. I'm like, I need to make something out of this. You know, overall, I'm just gonna reveal more about their lore, more about like, I guess, their story, their own things I want to share about them, you know, as time goes on, as things just, you know, like my shorts, just different future YouTube videos. More time will come, you know, we're gonna see where this goes, right? You know, I'm gonna answer now, what are my goals of like streaming and like why am I even doing this in the first place? So why am I doing this, right? So, self-expression, my joy and community. This entire thing, I wanted to have an excuse to play games, just play video games and stuff, to edit, learn more about editing, just to do art, do more cosplay. But I've recently been going to like more conventions stuff. Just, I love the community of like video games, cartoons, cosplay, makeup. I love all of that. I love all of that. This is just gonna be an excuse for me to learn more and just do more things, and like more excuses also to get some more cosplays. I'm not gonna break my bank getting like a lot of cosplays, obviously, but I would want to have more excuses to just like be more artistic. It's just a form of self-expression that I want to do. Yeah, and also I've always loved when people just build, I guess, their own community of people. I just want to have a creative, kind, and just open-minded people. That's the people in like a community that I've always wanted to build. I think that's just so cool when you also see like other creators, there's other people making communities like that are filled with super like genuinely kind people too. Obviously there's always going to be bad people in like any community, anything. There's always going to be like somebody bad in there too, but if you're able to foster just a good space for everybody, you know, I want to just see. And also, I like meeting new people. Before I thought like, oh, I don't like meeting new people. I'm an introvert. I've always known I'm an introvert. I still am an introvert. I've always known that I'm an introvert. But now I just like meeting new people. And like, I like meeting new people even if it's like, you know, at first I might not vibe with them as much, but I just like meeting new people and getting to know them, getting to know their perspective. So this whole thing is also just, I guess, a way of meeting new people, because I've also made like online friends too. I just like meeting new people. I think this is like, you know, a good way to like try and meet different people. I'm just in college too, and I've already tried joining like different clubs and stuff, but they're not as active until the fall term. I've learned through school, through like just my own personal experiences, that opportunities and getting the chance to do something is everything. And being able to do different things is what's gonna get you places. And also discipline too. I think discipline, you have to accept those opportunities, and then you actually have to follow through with those opportunities to like the best that you can, like the best abilities that you can. You know, doing different things is like, oh, you learn more stuff about yourself, you know? So being able to do something like this and just see, you know, what comes, what new people, what new things I guess come in my life from just these little things that I'm able to do. But just having and allowing yourself different opportunities and having a habit like that is what at least for me, is gonna fill me with personal fulfillment. Yeah, I want to stream basically for a lot of different reasons, but creativity and stuff, and just fostering just different opportunities and stuff. But yeah, I'm gonna do that. And this is the end of that section.